Good morning. Another 41-degree morning out here. Today is the last morning feeding for the meat birds. So if you purchase grit from a feed store or anything for your birds in the smaller bags, I would definitely look into getting it more in bulk. We get in a 50-pound bag, and the company's Cherry Stone, but there's different sizes of grit depending on what size of bird you have. But this is a 1/16, which is the smallest type. Here comes the boss. He was staying underneath his blankets. He was still a little bit cool this morning. There he is. You can't miss him in his bright hoodie. Look at that. We've got frost this morning. It's really light frost, but there they are.
The metal gets cold.
What's that?
The metal gets cold.
Give me that other one too. I'll go fill up both of those. Caleb's gonna run up and do the pigs. I've got to run back down to the house and get ready to head to town. You good?
Yep.
Okay. You have to turn it off the water. Just remember, just turn the four-wheeler off and we'll get it later. So I'm gonna be coaching Caden's 12U basketball team this year. Never really had to be a head coach at any of their sporting events. I've always either helped out or just been a fan. So it's kind of fortunate that we homeschool. They're going to be practicing from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. All right, I made it. I should have plenty of time, with time to spare actually. 15 minutes early. All right. I'm looking for door 3, I guess. I feel like we're going the wrong direction. Door numbers are going up. Definitely going the wrong direction. All right, there's door 3. Should be a good time. Let's go in and learn something.
Essential first step. She wrote a book called How Emotions Are Made, which is huge. She wrote one, and this is a digestion of a lot of her research. It's about that thick. But you can also find her, she's got a couple TED Talks, and she wrote a book called 7.5 Lessons on the Brain, which is far more, it's accessible, I would say. Really interesting intro to neuroscience if you've got. As coaches in this space in particular, we've got a great opportunity to enhance the body and the mind simultaneously. It's a little Maslowian. On the bottom row here, eat, move, sleep. That's essentially, it's bedrock is what we call it. It's the physiological bedrock. And are you earning it? That's an easy self check, by the way. When you feel like there's sort of a lack of optimism in the room, around the court, or whatever it might be, ask those 2 questions. Or not even lack of optimism, just if it feels frustrating even. Frustration is a great directive. It can point you in some really interesting directions.
All right, just made it back home from that presentation. It was great. Jim Davis was the gentleman's name. He's from up by Chicago. Hey, Ma. What's that? Kaleb home. Caden and I, we're heading home to set up for the chicken processing in the morning. So we're running out of daylight, so we're gonna boogie out of here. But game's over. I think they lost by 5 points maybe, but they played pretty good. Well, when the sun starts going down, it gets dark quick. But we'd have enough light for at least maybe till 7:45 or not, but that is definitely not the case. Working in the dark with headlights. What's that? The big blue extension cord. We're gonna go ahead and drape it all the way back there. Leave us enough there to plug in, but we will not plug it in tonight. Does that make sense? Any further? You use these kill cones to, you put the bird in. I don't know what we'll be able to show tomorrow exactly, but you put the bird in upside down and the head comes through here, down through the bottom, and that kind of keeps them calm and almost kind of puts them to sleep while they're upside down before you start the process. So they're pretty handy. So I've bought this one. I made one before we had the store-bought ones, and they both work fine. I'll tell you one that I don't like very much is here, Caden, show them this one, the traffic cone one. It just is a little bit too flimsy, and it never worked very well, so we haven't used that in a long time. This is the homemade one, and it, believe it or not, works pretty well. And then last year we raised those meat birds so big. This is a turkey kill cone. We had to go buy one of these because probably half of our birds would not fit in the chicken size kill cone. It's crazy. So what we're doing here, we're just going to put up a temporary holding pen for the neighbors when they bring them down in the morning. So then we can just put them in that, and then we can just take them out of that as we're ready for them. Ouch. How's it going so far, Caleb?
Good. Got those mess of hoses.
Mess of what?
Hoses.
Oh, were they a mess over there on the wall?
Yeah, they're a mess.
I think that's pretty well a wrap. We'll got a couple of things we got to do in the morning, but we'll get them out of that holding pin there. Go straight into these cones. From the cones, we'll scalding. From the scalding to the plucker's going to be sitting right out there. We'll actually put the camp stove out there for the scalding. Then we'll go straight to the plucker. From the plucker in here to the tables to cut up. So we will see you in the morning.